So I hope everybody's doing great. This is Tenzin. Today I'm going to show you guys how to install and configure DHCP on Windows Server 2012 R2. So DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, which a server assigns an IP address to a client so that they can get to the internet or talk to local computers. So I have Windows Server 2012 R2 setup right here in my Oracle VirtualBox, and I'm going to show you how to configure and install that DHCP on it. So first of all, let's log into our server. So every time you log into the server, server manager is gonna start automatically. Just give it a few seconds. Go to local server. I already named this computer name server 1, and I already installed DNS into this server, and this is my domain controller also, and I also have my static IP address set it in this. So if you go here, go to change adapter settings, Ethernet, properties. I disabled the IPv6, and IPv4 I give it this server 10.10.0.1, the subnet mask of 255.255.255.0, and .2 for gateway, and the DNS is the 127.0.0.1. To install the DHCP roles and features, you have to go to the manage, add roles and features, and it's gonna pop up add roles and features wizard, and this will tell you what the requirements are for creating a strong password for administrator and setting a static IP address, and you need to update your current security. So click next. So for the installation type, I'm going for the first one, which is role-based or feature-based installation, which configure a single server by adding roles, services, and features. Click next, and I'm going to select the server 1.tenzin.com. Yes, 10.10.0.1, which is the server. That's gonna be my destination server, where this features and roles going to be installed. Click next, and I'm going to install the CP, and it comes with the required features that you also need to add. And after that, you click next, and next. This tells you about a little bit about dynamic host configuration protocol. It assigns or leases IP address to the computers and other devices that are enabled DHCP client. You can read that if you want, and then I'm going to install it. And this is gonna start installation. Might take a couple of seconds. I'm going to fast forward this. So as you can see, the installation has been completed, and you'll get a link here to complete the DHCP configuration. Click on that link, and you need to take this extra step to finish the DHCP installation. Next, you need to authorize the DHCP server. me error because I already did that, so yep, click close. If you go to tools, as you can see, you can click on the DHCP. So there's going to be two options. One is IPv4 and IPv6. We're going to be using IPv4. So what you need to do is you need to add a new scope. So to add a new scope, you right click IPv4 and click on new scope, and the new scope widget window is going to pop up, and click next, and you have to name your scope, which I'm going to be setting as a VLAN. Description, it's optional. Let's set it classroom description. Click next, and the starting IP address is gonna be 10.1, and the end is gonna be 10.10.0.254, and the length is gonna be /24, which is 255.255.255.0. Click next. Here you can set your exclusion IP address range that you wanted to exclude it from the scopes. So I'm going to set this 10.0.1 starting to 10.10.0.14. And for subnet delay in a second, you don't really need to do that. So click next. And for the lease duration, this is when IP address is leased for this duration, which is already set at 8 days. I'm going to leave it just the default. Click next. And do you want to configure the DHCP options scopes for now? So I'll have to say yes. Click next. And it's gonna ask you for the router default gateway. I'm going to set this 10.10.0.1, which is the server. We'll set it. So for the DNS server, I'm going to leave this Tenzin.com, and for the WINS server, I'll click next. Do you want to activate the scope now? I'm going to say yes. Click next, and then you complete. And as you can see, my scope is now created with the name VLAN1, and under that, if you go to address pool, it's going to show you the pool of IP address 10.10.0.1 starting IP. The end IP address is 10.10.0.254. That's the range I set it up in the for the distribution list. And I'm going to exclude 10.10.0.1 to 10.10.0.14 for any reservations. And on the address lease, this is where a device is a client who gets their IP address is gonna be shown here with their name, lease expression, type, and their unique ID and such. And next, you'll go to reservation. This is where you can reserve an IP address from our pool, which is gonna be 1 to 14. When you reserve it, it's gonna show up right here. You can add it. You can add the computer to reserve, and it's gonna pop out right here. Next, this is gonna be the scope option where we set our default router 10.10.0.1 and our DNS server, our DNS domain name. Yeah. So this completes our installing and configuration of the DHCP in Windows Server 2012 R2. And now I'm going to show you how to connect to the DHCP server and get IP address from a Windows 7 Professional. I have a virtual machine. It's already been configured. I'm going to start this right now. First of all, you have to set your virtual machine. Go to settings. You have to go to network, and for the network adapter one, you have to select internal network, and the name for that interface is going to be interface net. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to have this Windows 7 professional computer. I'm going to set this computer to get their IP address from the DHCP server. I'm going to check the network settings. Go to this computer icon, right click, and go to network options. Go to change adapter, and click on the double click local internet connection. Properties. What I'm going to do is going to disable the IPv6, highlight IPv4, click properties. As you can see that I'm using a static IP address. I'm going to set this obtain IP address automatically, which it's going to send a broadcast message to the DHCP server asking for an IP address. Click OK, close this, and this is the set it as work. Close. Minimize that. Let me open up a command prompt. Simply type cmd in the start. We do ipconfig. As you can see, now that we just got a IP address 10.10.0.15. Going to do ipconfig/all. You also see that DHCP server is .1, which is correct, and the default gateway. And you'll see the lease obtained, which is now, and it's gonna expire in 8 days on November 27th. Yes, and also you need to have your client to be DHCP enabled. Yes, otherwise it will not work. And the DNS server is 10.10.0.1, and you can ping it. Obviously you can ping it because you simply just cut the IP address. As you can see, it's successful. So there you go. We have fully configured, and we have connected clients and get their IP address from the DHCP server. Let me know if you like this video, and thank you so much for watching. And my name is Tenzin. Thank you. Have a good day.